Hi, I'm here again talking to you about the coronavirus. So tonight I'm going to talk to you about one of my very favorite tools to use in stressful, difficult times, and that is a Serenity Prayer. I spent decades in a recovery program, and it was one of my favorite tools. I know there were days when I said it over and over and over and over again, and you might need to do that right now during this coronavirus quarantine. So the Serenity Prayer was believed to have been written in 1943 and spoken in a sermon by Reinhold Niebuhr, who was an evangelical pastor. So he brought up this thing, which is this amazing tool. It's been adopted by 12-step groups like Alcoholics Anonymous and then Al-Anon and all the other 12-step groups, as well as used, in all other kinds of settings. But it is a fantastic, fantastic prayer. In it has the elements of a lot of the things that I teach in my 10 Transforming Principles class. So the prayer goes like this: God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So I'm going to break that down, and then let's talk about it specifically. How does it apply to the coronavirus? I'm actually feeling a lot of turmoil tonight, and I can feel it physically, emotionally. My back is tense, and I've really got to work through the things that are bothering me. So I'm going to do that as I'm talking to you. I've got lots of family members and things that are struggling with things, and it's been a difficult day to deal with all that. And I'm not alone. I know you're right there with me. And I know there are many people that have a far more difficult situations than I have. So here's what I want you to do. Think about your situation right now, the things that you're dealing with, the financial stress, the relational stress, the physical stress, the stress that you feel from being quarantined with people that get on your nerves, or kids are fighting, or your spouse is in a really bad mood, and that just puts you in a bad mood, and you don't know where to go, and you're worried about money and worried about the future and all of that stuff. We're all there together. So, okay, first of all, God, you're speaking to God, you're asking God, who is greater than you, greater than the circumstance. I have struggled all day today with just wanting to will things back to normal, will things back to a place where my family isn't going to be financially hurt, my daughter who's completely out of work and super stressed, and other family members, just to will it back to normal, just go back. And part of me just felt like saying, let me call the president and the head of the CDC. I want to tell them what I think. Like, we can do something different. I'm just burdened for the people who are financially distraught. And my heart goes out to the people that are just bound with fear because they're afraid of getting the coronavirus and are exposing a family member, or maybe you've lost a family member, and there's nothing more painful than that. And then the fear of the finances, the stuff in the future. And so it's just like, I don't have within me the ability to figure out what to do or how to fix all this stuff. I've got to go to God. I've got to go to someone outside me, God, and say, God, help, okay? Grant me the serenity. What does grant mean? Grant is something that is given to you. When you go and apply for a grant, let's say from the government to study something, maybe those people that are studying the coronavirus in their labs have gotten a grant to do that. So they get money to do something, but they go and they ask for it, and they have to fulfill the requirements in order to be given that grant. So there's going to be, you're going to put out a prospectus of what you're going to do, about how you're going to do the research, about what it is you're doing, when it is going to be done, how you're going to spend the money that is given to you. So there's something that needs to be done that requires action on your part. So you're going to ask God, give me serenity. Okay, now we're not going to get yet into what you need to do. Now, serenity. Serenity, what does it mean? There's two definitions I want to tell you about. First of all, what you're doing is you're wanting to become serene. That's describing how you're going to be. The first one is serene means to be marked by utter calm and tranquility. Whoa, I do not feel like I'm right there right now. It's a goal. I want to get there. To be marked by utter calm and tranquility. I love the ocean. I love any lake, water, river. And one of my favorite times to stand by the ocean or by the water is at night. When the waves die down and the moon is just reflecting off of the water and the water is just completely still and you can see the light reflect off the water. And that is one of the most calm feelings that I have ever felt from being somewhere and seeing something. It just literally makes you want to take a deep breath and just relax, because it is utter calm and tranquility. It's quiet. No one's out. There's no noise. Beautifully calm and tranquil. The second one is to be clear and free of storms or unpleasant changes. A couple of years ago, I was in Israel with a group, and we were on the Sea of Galilee, and the Sea of Galilee was really calm. And within 5 minutes, the wind just swooped in and it was so strong and the dark clouds came, and within minutes it looked like a sea. The Sea of Galilee is literally a lake. Okay, it's not really a sea. There were waves that were just all over on that lake, and you could just say, whoa. I can see how, with the story in the Bible where it talks about the disciples being there and it's really calm, and then all of a sudden they freak out because a big storm comes and they are afraid they're going to sink. So it's that storm that could come, but in this case, when you're serene, you're not going to have that storm. You're not going to have that unpleasant change, which seems ludicrous because we're right in the middle of storms and change. But feeling serene in them is to feel as if there is no storm. Okay, now this doesn't mean to deny your feelings. I never, ever tell you to do that. So what do you need to do to become serene? Wow, sounds like an impossible task. Accept the things you cannot change. Amazing. When you are not accepting, you're fighting, you're struggling, you're wrestling. You're wrestling with the things you don't like. I hate this coronavirus. I hate being on quarantine. I hate having to be with this person. I hate not being able to be with this person. Could be somebody you can't see. I hate having to be stuck here in this situation. I hate not doing my job. I hate not having my finances come in. I hate having the fear of getting a virus. I hate wearing masks. I hate my neighbors feeling fearful around me when I walk by them. Whatever it is, you can fill in the blank. I hate this. I hate this. I hate this. And then here's the next thing we say, and I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. I want it to change. I want it to change. I want it to change now. Stop. Make it change. And we fight with it and we wrestle with it, not physically, but in our minds, in our emotions, in our attitude, in our thoughts. And it's literally a struggle. And you know what I'm talking about. I'm feeling it tonight. I feel it in my gut. Like I'm just struggling. I want things to be different in these situations that have, a couple of them that have come up in the last few days. And I just desperately, I didn't expect this one decision that involved one of my children to come out a certain way. And I'm in turmoil. But I don't want to be in turmoil. I want to be able to let it go. And I know you do too. So what do we need to do? In order for God to grant us serenity, to be serene, utter calm, we need to accept the things we cannot change. We need to stop fighting them. We need to stop struggling. We need to just go. And this is what accept means. This might surprise you, but it's very simple. Accept means that you're going to put out your hand and take what is offered to you. So you put out your hand, okay? Put out your hand and you say, I'll take that. That's mine. Instead of, the opposite of accepting is to push it away. I don't want it. Get it away. I don't want it. Take it, take it, take it. No, you're saying, is this a coronavirus? Is this what's going on? I don't like it, but okay. I'm going to have to accept that. I have to accept that that's my lot right now. Accept that this is what I'm dealing with. Accept the difficult person that I'm stuck in the house with. Accept the person who's reacting to this by constant complaining, constant negativity, constant agitation, or constant fear, or constant criticalness, or maybe completely out of it, not worrying with you, not concerned, just vegging, playing video games, watching TV, no concern, left you holding the bag to deal with the kids, to deal with the finances, to deal with the bills, and just completely checked out. Whatever that is, you want to change that. You want that person to change. But I know you've tried it and you have not gotten the person to change. So when you're working on serenity, you're working on accepting the things that you've tried to change. You know you can't change them. And as long as you keep beating against it, change, 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 and it's not changing, you're agitated. You're not in turmoil. You are just struggling and fighting, and it doesn't get you anywhere. If it did, I'd say go do it, okay? Because I am a person of action. I like things to get done. I've always got a plan for how it should be. I would love to be able to make things change if I could, but I've learned the hard way, I can't. My road to peace is this one decision that I'm talking about that happened with my daughter. If I have to accept it, and when I accept it, I'm going to find that peace over it. But when I'm fighting it and struggling with it, and it's okay to do that for a little while when things first happen, because it's part of the grieving process and to where you get to acceptance. But my place of peace with that is to accept it. Okay, to accept it. Now, accept the things you cannot change. Next, and the courage to change the things you can. First of all, let's jump to the end. What are the things you can change? All right, can't change people, can't change circumstances past the extent that you can do something about them, right? Can't change the coronavirus. It's here, it happened. Can't change all kinds of things that have to do with that. I can't change, I mean, I could do what's my legal right to contact representatives and mayors and, governors and presidents and Congress, all that. You and I can both do what we can do to, give our opinion and our concerns, but we can't make that happen. I can't will that to happen, neither can you. So the things that we cannot change, accepting, okay, or the things that we can change, sorry. So, okay, we're going to accept the things we cannot change, and we're going to have the courage to change the things we can. So there are things that we can change. I got a little carried away there, still on the things we can't change, because you know what? That's what we try to do the most. All right, so the things that I can change. You, both of us, all of us, myself, yourself, our attitudes, our thoughts, our actions, our choices, our, let's see, the things that we have within our control. Okay, I had a choice today to change the things that I chose to do, the things that I chose to prioritize. I had a choice to change the way I reacted to everyone that came within my circle, okay? Whether I was irritated, upset, bothered, I had a choice of how I could speak. I had a choice of what to do. I could have pushed myself really hard to do things I didn't want to do and ended up miserable, or I could have done things in a balanced way that helped me to feel a little more relaxed and not wiped out and burned out by the end of the day. So all those things we can change. We can change our focus, okay? If you have faith, if you have spirituality, you can put your focus onto that spirituality, trusting, doing everything you can, because that's your responsibility, and then trusting God with the rest, right? Those are the things that we can change. Can't change. In my 12-step program, we used to say can't change people, places, and things, right? Okay, so I'm going to have the courage to change the things I can. So once you figure out what you can change, then you need to have courage to change them. Why? Why does it take courage? Courage is the ability to stand up against the things that you are afraid of, the things that are difficult, and you rise up and have the strength to face them. Okay, and we're asking God to grant us serenity and the ability to accept the things we cannot change, and the courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So courage is having that ability to change the things I can. Why is it hard? Because we don't want to change. We want to keep doing things the same. We want to push harder when something doesn't work. We don't want to focus inward on ourselves. We don't want to look at ourselves, look at our faults. We don't want to look at our shortcomings. We don't want to work hard at changing them. We just want to do the quickest things, which is sort of to like jump on other people, right? And focus on them. And they'd only change, things would be perfect, right? But no, we're going to change the things we can within ourselves. And the next thing is, and the wisdom to know the difference. Wisdom is the ability to discern what is right, okay? To discern between what you can change and what you can't change. Now, God can give us that wisdom, and also we get that wisdom by learning, by growing, by becoming more discerning, which we can get through reading, videotape, YouTube, listening to all kinds of different things, talking to people who like counselors or people that can give us insight. So that is how we have the wisdom to know what's different, to know the difference, to do the wisdom to do what is right, and the ability to discern that. So think about again how you, and I'd encourage you, you've got time most likely on your hands, unless you're really working hard from home and managing the kids not being in school. But even then, you need to take time for yourself. Think about how this applies to you. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, and the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen. I hope that this has helped you. I will be posting another video. I've had people write me and ask me specific questions, or even give me ideas for videos to do in this dealing with the coronavirus quarantine series, and I'd love to hear from you at carla@changemyrelationship.com, and also my website, which has lots of books and studies and some free things that you can sign up for. So anyway, God bless, take care of yourself, and I wish you serenity.